closer. We've had what was it, altruism vetoed, which I don't blame. Then we've had Yonsu twice.
Yeah,
double
veto.
Both players vetoed that, so definitely not playing that map. The next one to follow then was Polar Night and then Habitation Station. So that means we have Frost, Belcher Vestige, and someone messaged me, and then of course Heavy Rain, which I think it'll be like Heavy Rain. I'm gonna say Heavy Rain, Polar Night, and then Frost, or Frost, Polar. No, Frost, Heavy Rain, Polar Night. I bet that's the map order if we get 3.
I will remember that. I'm tempted to write that down to see how accurate you are. So hang on. Frost, Heavy Rain.
Down. There's a pen, bro.
Yeah, I will do that. Right
down.
I'll just write letters. So Frost, Heavy Rain, and
Polar Night.
Okay, we will see how accurate that is when we do get in. Currently, they're discussing swarm hosts.
Oh no.
Because swarm hosts need discussing.
And both these players are ridiculously good at swarm hosts as well. That's the thing. That's scary.
Okay, to be honest, it doesn't take that much to be good at swarm
hosts. That is very true there.
I am good at swarm hosts, and that says something. But then again, I like to do the Bly strategy of Nida swarm host into their base with queens.
Yeah. All right. So there's Belcher. I think we're gonna actually maybe start on Polar. Is it? No, Frost. Oh, it was Frost.
So we'll have to see how the map order goes from there. So far, we have 1 tick.
1 tick.
1 tick.
And I'm not even a Zerg here.
I'm the random player. I should be able to predict this better.
So yeah, it's gonna be Frost once again. Like, not surprising. Frost is a great map. Is it the first map we've had both?
No, we didn't have it first in the last series. We had it first in the first series, not first in the last series. Last series we had...
I can't remember.
The
second map was Heavy Rain. No, Heavy Rain then Habitation Station.
Yes, that was it.
Sweet. So the lobby has been created. I'm sure you guys can hear the noise. So we are getting ramped up for this. Frostal LE, a 4-player map.
Indeed. Elephant versus Pewee. It's going to be our first game. We will be seeing a swap of that fairly shortly. Ooh. Pretty much all the castles are in.
And that's what we're also waiting. We have been told as well that there should be a little bit of an announcement coming out towards the end of this series in regards to, of course, the G Infinity 3 event, guys, which will be happening here in London on the 22nd and 23rd of May at the Copper Box something Arena something. I can't remember what it's called. Ah, fantastic. So yeah, it's 24th and 25th. Tickets will be available on Sunday. Oh, no, Monday. Monday's the 24th. I get my days mixed up now. It's been a long week.
Yeah. And for those of you who aren't just fans of StarCraft, it's not the only game that's going to be there. We will also be streaming Call of Duty, Dota, StarCraft 2, CSGO, and FIFA 14, if any of you are fans of the old footy.
Yeah. Well, I know the UK is.
Yes, we are.
The UK
love our FIFA.
Oh God, too much FIFA.
I say we. I'm not really a fan of FIFA.
Oh no,
no, because we like StarCraft.
Oh yeah, like I like playing FIFA sometimes, but do you know whenever you play someone who's just better than you, it's just like
my strategy in FIFA consists of get the ball and boot it from midfield and hope. The old kick and hope strategy.
All right, so everyone is ready. Yeah.
Yep, it looks like we will be getting into the game. We have a ready from Snute. We have a ready from Scarlett. It's time to get into the game. Game 1 on Frost LE. Countdown will be starting shortly.
Yep, just waiting for the Snute. Ready, go. And yeah, ZVZ. Yeah. Of course, ZVZ is actually a much better matchup than it used to be, in my opinion at least, unless it goes to like Brutal, Swarmos v Swarmos, and that is terrible. But I've witnessed a lot of great CVZs over the last few months, and
the early game CVZ is one of my favourite things ever because it all comes down to micro. Yeah. Unless of course there's just a build order win. That can happen in any matchup. Yeah.
And also at the Asus ROG Winter of this year, the 30th of January event, like I got it was, I don't know how I got it, but I had the Group of Death to cast, and that was the one with Jadon, Life, Solar, and Hero.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, some amazing CVC there. But if you could do the introduction, sir.
I would love to do the introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Frost, playing for Team Liquid, we have Snute. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frost, playing as the Red Zerg for Team Acer, we have Scarlett.
Yep. Now the map is Frost LE, a 4-player map, which as I always say, whenever you have a 4-player map, you'll always see normally greedier builds, and a lot of people like they don't actually know why that is, what the thinking, the logic, the the train of thought is. It's because on a 4-player map, it's not just a huge map. It's B, you obviously have more spawns to check, so you don't know where your opponent will be. So of course, when you go to scout them, there is a possibility you will not scout the right location. That of course stops early scouts because it's a lot of wasted resources, and then off the back of that, that means that if you're not scouting early, or your opponent's not scouting early, you can take risks. And if you take a risk and it pays off, you get an advantage. And obviously, it's harder to spot these risks and punish them on a 4-player map because of that scouting. So that's why, especially with Frost, that's why you always see like 3 hatch before pool and a gateway or a nexus into a gateway in like PvZ. And then, Terrans, like their fast expansions, command centers first. It's big, because of that type of logic. But we do have a pool first for your hatchery first year. I thought that was an early-ish pool, but no, it's pretty cool.
Indeed. We're basically seeing the opposite builds when it comes to Zerg. You have the choice of pool or hatchery. You don't really have any other buildings you can build. So these two just chosen opposite strategies, and it's very debatable which one gives you the huge advantage. Zerglings should, in theory, have the advantage because they can get the aggression, but it's very easy to hold off that kind of
exactly.
Zerg.
By the time you get there and stuff like that. Like, what I always find very interesting in ZVZ is you rarely get the same build.
Yeah.
Like you do in TVT.
They always seem to vary
it's always
in different directions.
one play will always go for the hatchery first, and one play will always go for the pool first. It's very rare you get both the hatchery.
And then they either both start building Bling Muta, or they both start building Roaches, and then then we reach
the transition's always the same.
Yeah.
But the opening is always a little bit funkier. But
if the transition isn't the same, then it's screwed, because whoever goes Roaches loses.
Yep. Now, the longer the game goes on, or opening-wise, it does seem like Scarlett has a little bit of an edge here. Obviously, she has a hatchery first, which was unscouted, and once again, it's not too much of a factor because it's a ZVZ. Because of course, overlords each scout out. It's a free scout. Snute, sees his opponents. Scarlett obviously knows where Snute is, and Snute also knows that because the overlords passed each other. And of course, they're going to reposition their overlords in positions like right above this bridge, and right by here. This is of course to scout any aggression that will be coming at them. And of course, queens and stuff like that can pick off overlords, so you have to be careful about the positioning. So, we're not going to see like an overlord left right by here or something like that. Alright, so there's also Zerglin speed as well. Ooh, and she's keeping guys on gas, which is actually pretty standard these days. I know, for example, Snute. Like, I always loved the way that Snute did it. He would go up to, gas, mine 100 gas, take 2 off gas at 100, so obviously once he starts his Zerglin speed. When he hits 50 gas, he starts his Bane and Nest and puts the other 2 guys back in gas.
Yeah, so he gets more Zerglings out when he needs them.
Yes. And
more gas when he's beginning to tech up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just a nice little funkier timers, but actually we could see an overlord get picked off here, and that would be a nice little win there for Snute, and a drone nearly got picked off there as well. And the overlord.
Getting low. The slowest chase scene of all time. Dun 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 dun. Down it goes.
Yep, and it will die. So, that does supply block Scarlett for a tiny little bit, but she is maybe building 3 overlords as opposed to like maybe just 2. So, are we going to see a swarm of units maybe? But no, actually, just a bit of tech.
The bit of tech. Blair is about halfway finished for her. She's just teching up at the moment. Her speed will be finishing quite soon. 9 drones on the way. Just quite normal out of Scarlett at the moment.
Oh, gas is 3
I say 4. Normal. Much gas.
But Snute is... Okay, he's adding on Evo Chambers. He's not taking himself up to that lair himself, and he is building a Bane on this. So we need to keep an eye on his Zerglin production, just in case he builds a big swarm. He could all in, but actually there's some drones. So it looks like it will just be a bit of standard. But he is going to be behind in tech. So this could be a fast, roach timing. It could be obviously fast mutas, something like that.
These Zerglings still alive, but very little chance of them getting out alive. Down they go. But Scarlett was just able to scout out pretty much everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and there's the Spire. So it is going to be a very, very fast tool-based Spire play. Ooh, and a ground carapace for Snute. Now, there are obviously a lot of different funkier builds that come into play. Obviously, if you get a carapace with the Zerglins, that will help absorb some of the splash maybe from the mutas. So if they have an engagement there, like you can run under the mutas to pick up the splash. But okay, there it is, a big swarm of Zerglins, so maybe he wants to get the +1 armor, so the Banelings of Scarlett will not one-shot them, as opposed to, obviously, they would now.
Indeed, we'd like to say the Banelings of Scarlett, but currently, no Banelings.
No, but she is producing 20 Zerglins at a perfect time in, because she has maybe spotted a couple of extra units. There's 7 banelings.
Find out soon. That Overlord getting quite close to
Oh,
this.
it does see it. Scarlett's not reacting just yet.
Indeed, she's going to need to react quite soon. Her Zerglings moving forward. Need to be so careful with these banelings here. Oh, the nice darts there. But these banelings all still alive. Scarlett is instead going for Snoot space. But these banelings, that means, are just going to walk straight into the mineral line with very little opposition. Queen's on the ramp. Banelings.
Oh, they're getting some good connections, and the Zerglings are going to come up here, run into the Spine Crawler, and run up into the main base, and they might be able to get some damage. Banelings do start morphing up there as well, and the Queen does get picked off for Scarlett. She's a little bit down in supply, but of course she's got the 6 meters in production, 8 meters now, so Snute has to do some damage, and he has to build static defense to defend against this, or the extra Queens to protect his drones.
Indeed, Snute has so many banelings in the base right now, and he has been able to, he will very soon be holding off Scarlett. Both players, in fact, will be holding. Oh, did lose a worker or two there, but both players able to hold each other off.
Yeah, but oh my god, it's 30 worker kills right now, V6, and
oh my god,
all these mutas. This is it. Like these mutas have to win the game. There's no way she's going to be able to survive this. She is picking off overlords though. That will stop the reinforcements. But there are Zerglings running around the map to force her back home, which gives Snute the time to build queens, add in the spores, and defend against the mutas that will be coming.
Indeed, what I'd really like to see Scarlett do now is just build 2 spine crawlers in the main base and go, because she needs to do the counter damage, and these run-bys are just going to kill her.
Yeah, but she's down to 16 workers, V43, and she's only up by 4 army supply, which is pretty much all the mutas, and she will GG. She'll just GG like that, realizing like she had nothing that she could do there. Like the only thing she had to rely upon was the fact that she went for that run by with the Zerglings, and obviously Snute saw that happening because obviously the Zerglings when they're attacking, so he kept the Zerglings back at home, the Zerglings that were in production back at home, and of course he just made banelings and he eventually won. And then of course he added on the spine, spores, extra queens.
Those banelings from Snute, absolutely perfect. Perfect positioning. Almost all the banelings he ever built became all the Zerglings he ever built became banelings at one point or another.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. The admin's like, Scarlett, what map would you like? And he's like, I guess not Yonsu, based on the fact that they both vetoed it. Fun times.
So right, you predicted Heavy Rain to be the next map.
Oh,
Polar
Night. I did say Polar Night is the third
map.
map.
You swapped it. You can't back out of this now.
I'm not backing out. At least, like, if Snute does lose this, I bet he picks Heavy Rain.
Okay, well, we will see that. So we'll put a cross here. We'll put a little swap arrow and see what happens.
See, like, now if Snute had lost that game, he would have picked Heavy Rain. I'd be right. Alright, so join invites are incoming.
We'll be getting into the game very shortly.
Like, yeah, I'm not surprised that this, like Polar Knight. Like, I know Zerg's like Polar Knight, and ZVZ obviously is the mirror matchup.
Yeah.
Balance doesn't really have any issues on that.
On Polar Knight, Zerg is always overpowered in ZVZ.
Especially overpowered in ZVZS.
So we will have to see whether Snute can bring it back in this game. I believe everyone is in. Someone in the chat asked to be in, but we don't seem to know who he is. Both players have already given a ready, so we're going to invite him. We need to do it now. If not, then we might as well just start and get into game number 2. We'll have to see what's going on.
We're just waiting for Elephant.
Who are we waiting for?
The admin, the host.
Yes. I thought you were a host. Okay, fair enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will very soon be getting into game number 2 of this series. Can Snute bring it back to bring it to 1-1, or is Scarlett going to take it 2-0? We'll find out soon as the countdown has begun. Game 2 on Polar Night.
Yep. And this is a funky map as well. I like a funky, very, very funky, in my opinion. I'm very torn on Polar Night. It creates these really wacky games here again, like say Habitation Station, but they're always a bit more standard. But it adds in all these extra elements, like obviously that back expansion, which comes along to play. Obviously, the map itself is very large and long. But if we could do the introductions before we talk more about the map, that would be great.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, spawning at the top of Polar Night, playing for Team Acer as the Pink Zerg, we have Scarlett. And spawning at the bottom of Polar Night, playing as the Blue Zerg, playing for Team Liquid. We have Snute.
Yep. And as we've already discussed, so we can continue with the map discussion itself. It's a very funky map. The biggest aspect is the fact that the third base is always a bit indecisive of where you want to take it, or like it's more indecisive, independent of the matchups themselves. Because obviously, you get some maps where that's always your third base, no matter what. But this one, Zergs say in ZVC they don't mind this one. In ZVT they don't really mind this one. In ZVP they don't like it. They like this one over here. And then of course there's the extra factor of the fact that you have this secret, it's easy to defend base, which is normally going to be a fourth. And once again, that adds in extra elements and stuff like that. Because we should also kind of talk about this.
Yeah, there is a pool.
Yeah, before we get a bit too distracted.
Snute wanting to close out this series as quick as possible before Scarlett has any chance to bring it back.
And this is actually going to be a hatchery first from Scarlett, so this is a big possibility.
No. Nice star, though.
Yeah.
Nice star in the rally points.
Now, what could come into play is the fact that this Overlord might not see the Zerglings. Snute should have spotted this just about, maybe, and he should know that they're flying down this side. So if he's smart, he might run them around this way.
However, that Overlord's just about to hover over that area.
Or he might go like this way up here.
Yeah, he would likely go the incredibly long way round if he wants to avoid it. Oh, that looks like a long way round. Hang on.
Oh, no, it's not.
No.
Let's watch Scarlett's point of view just to see.
Alright, yeah, she's just seen it now. They just went straight under the Overlord. And going straight for it, Scarlett's spawning pool is on the way. Yeah,
and it's only 25 seconds in of a 65-second build. So that's 40 seconds for these Zerglings to get up here. Now, the question is Snute going to go for the hatchery, or is he going to go for the main? Because, of course, if he goes for the main, that means he has a higher chance of doing guaranteed damage. But, of course, he could lose his Zerglings. If they fight, he doesn't... Well, he sees the hatchery now. And
there's your answer.
And he's
straight
very happy
into
with
the main. We're seeing some extractor tricking, trying to group up those drones as much as possible. And here we go, Snute going for the attack. One worker down. Currently, one Zergling also down.
Oh, and
more Zerglings coming in from the back. A bit of a surround here, but it looks like Scarlett may be able to hold this up, but so many workers just died.
8 workers. Oh my god, that's such a big deal. It's 11v6 right now. Fair enough, she does have the expansion, but...
That's over half her workers are now dead.
And there's more...
Oh, no.
She's down to 5. Zerglings do pop.
I think it's over, though.
It near enough could be. She has to... Oh my god, and this
she's
Overlord
down to the same amount of workers than she started with. She did just build a couple more, but yeah. Nice shot, Snute.
Yeah, and that's expensive for her right now. Losing an Overlord right now when she has 5 workers or 7 now with the extra 2 that did just pop, and Snute's getting his gas. So he's going to more than likely go up to Zergling speed, get a Bane Nest, and just end the game.
On the bright side for Scarlett, she does still have that expansion, so she is going to be able to produce drones twice as quickly. The problem is she doesn't have the money to do it.
Exactly, and actually she could get a queen
nice
kill here.
And that's possibly going in, but no, Zerglings of Snute gonna chase that back. And there's going to be no queen kills today.
Yeah. Now, Snute does have 2 queens, so losing that wouldn't have been the biggest deals, because, of course, he can still get his injects down. And he is going to go for that Zergling speed. He is still mining that gas, a little bit away from the Bane Nest, but he is going to also take his natural as well. So he is, he's not going to go for the super massive all-in, end the game. But he has, obviously, a massive advantage, which he's going to try and capitalize on anyway. And once
although Scarlett has now equalized the drone count.
Yep.
She is bringing it back, and she's going to be able to hold off Snute for quite a while here. But as you said, it's all going to come down to these Banelings.
Yeah, she's behind on tech. She might skip the Zergling speed and go for an immediate Baneling Nest. But she hasn't scouted the gas of Snute, so she won't know yet that it's coming. So we'll have to wait and see what she does with the first 100 gas. But Snute is definitely, I feel like, going to be hyper aggressive here with this Baneling Nest.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't seen spine crawlers already, but we will be seeing them quite soon if Scarlett wants to survive. But as you said, first 100 gas is here. Wait to see when she has enough minerals.
She does go for
the speed.
She leaves 1 on here.
I think that might be a poor decision.
It could be, yes. We do have extra units in production. Snute is starting to make these Banelings, which will get spotted in a moment's time as this Overlord closes to the distance. And this is going to be very, very, very scary, because she's actually overtaken Snute by 6 workers. So
but
she's
that's
like
all she has now. Workers, here come the Banelings. Zerglings moving in, going to try and catch off anything. Drones retreating into the base. Queen on the ramp. These Banelings have nothing to kill, but the fact that they are here Oh, kills off some of the sporting Zerglings straight away. Zerglings will be able to deal with the rest.
There's only
so
one
many
queen.
Zerglings here. Only one queen.
She can't even block the
Zerglings
ramp.
getting it up. There's so many Banelings here for Snute. Zerglings dying left, right, and center. Queen will be ignored as Snute goes straight to the main base. There's the GG. And Snute
We'll take a very quick 2-0.
That's the quickest game we've had so far.
It is. And wow, Scarlett insta gone off Battle.net EU.
Oh dear.
Which I'm not surprised. Obviously, she's North America.
That's not a nice loss to take.
No. No, it was a Baneland nest. Like, she was going for a nice strategy as well in game number 1.
Yeah.
But she went for she lost her Baneland all in near enough.